And here with us now to continue this conversation is former acting director of the Department of Homeland Security and Secretary Chad Wolf. Mr. Wolf, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. You saw that video. What were your first thoughts when you saw those agents being rushed like that?
Well, it's very concerning. Obviously, our first instinct should be for the safety of those officers, whether they're Border Patrol officers, DPS, Texas DPS, or National Guardsmen. And so anytime that you see an aggressive situation like that with illegal aliens coming from all over the world, right, coming along that southern border, you want to make sure that your law enforcement is safe and protected. And then the second thing that obviously comes to mind is the fact that they feel emboldened, they feel empowered to actually rush that border and to tear down some of that wire and fencing, the temporary fencing that you see there. And so I think that's concerning. I think that tells you there's a different type of migrant that is now coming across that southern border than what we've seen in years past.
Chad, I'm so glad you said that. I wanted to say that, but I feared walking into that water without it being perceived as not being sensitive to the situation at hand. Anytime you're willing to rush armed guards that way, it tells me that you have no fear of repercussion.
Yeah, I think that's right, right? You have no fear of deterrence or the consequences of your action, because over the last 3 years, we've seen that the majority of folks that come across that border, however they come across that border, are released into the United States. And this idea of, oh, well, they get to claim asylum, this idea that illegal aliens, again, from all over the world, get to choose when and where they cross our border illegally, and we should be okay with that. It's not how the system should work. We should be able to tell them this is when and where you should cross if you want to claim protection, asylum protections. But the system is completely backwards today. And unfortunately, Border Patrol, law enforcement officers, and others are having to deal with this situation. And it's, as you can see in some of the images that you're showing, some of those situations do not end well.
Chad, you've been on both sides of this issue before, working for an administration, dealing with it, and now out of that administration, having the opportunity to take an eagle-eye view of the situation. What are the first two things that need to happen to secure that border?
Yeah, I think there needs to be a wholesale change in the way that you approach this. And so whether it's restarting border wall construction in very priority locations, but first and foremost, probably it's ending catch and release and bringing deterrence and consequences back into the system. This idea of mass parole, which the Biden administration is doing, about 380,000 individuals, is probably higher at this point. All of these send a signal to folks that want to come to our country illegally that it's okay, that there are pathways to come here that you may not otherwise be available for. So whether it's abusing our asylum system or this unlawful use of parole, we're sending the wrong signals to folks to say it's okay to come here illegally. So I think that needs to be changed. That's the first thing I would likely change. And I think that starts to send a signal down the line to not only your law enforcement agents, but to the smugglers and traffickers and others who have been abusing the system for the past 3 years.
Chad, I've got less than 30 seconds with you there. We've seen that the numbers from migrants from Venezuela who are crossing illegally and captured has fallen. Does that mean that the Biden policy of putting pressure on Mexico is working, or is this just a temporary fix?
Well, I don't think so. Again, you've got 4 countries that they're paroling a lot of individuals in. You called one of them Venezuela. The others are Cuba, Haiti, in Nicaragua, and you see actually numbers of those individuals from those other countries increasing. So this mass parole program that you're bringing a lot of Venezuelans in on doesn't seem to be working as though the Biden administration told us it would. They said, look, if we parole these folks in, we're going to see fewer and fewer of them come to the border. And in fact, that's not been the case. And the numbers, the overall numbers, continue to rise and continue to be a problem each and every month.
Chad Wolf, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.